You're overthinking and overanalyzing. You're trying to figure out all the ways where will it work, won't it work, worrying about it, trying to figure it all out. Stop. Just stop. Let's stop with this habit of overthinking that just slows you down and causes you to stay stuck in indecision. And let's replace it with a new habit. Let's stop the overthinking and drop in to your intuition. Want to know how to do that? Well, stay tuned for the rest of this video. I'm Melissa and I'm the founder of Communicate with Angels. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy this video. I share a new video every Wednesday. Why would you want to stop overthinking and drop into your intuition? Why would you even care about that? Well, here's the thing. We have two parts to our nature. The intellect, which is the logical thinking part, and the feeling part, or the intuition. And you need both of those as a soul, as a being, as a human here on planet Earth. But here's what has happened is that our society, our planet, has become overly intellectual and overly masculine energy. Masculine energy is not bad, but it's part of the balance. But when you're out of balance, that's when problems arise. So obviously our planet is out of balance right now, and there are many problems resulting from that. You have probably fallen into that pattern yourself. Now, there are other ways to get out of balance, but the most common one that I see and that I can fall into myself is this overly intellectual. And it's very ingrained. It's usually the way that we've been brought up, especially in westernized countries. We're taught to go to school, to learn, to understand, to be logical, to do, to push, to strive, to be productive. All of those are masculine energy or intellectual side of things. And we're taught that the more feminine energy, the intuitive side of things, doesn't have value. It's weak, it's not important, it's kind of illogical and silly, and it doesn't really have any value. If you want to have value in our society, you're going to be logical and scientific and prove things. If you want to be kind of looked down upon and almost dismissed, then you're going to be more intuitive and flowing and not logical, right? This like flowing in a different order. Masculine energy is step by step by step. Feminine energy, anything goes. It's creativity, it's inspiration, right? It's artistic. So because we've been looked down upon, if we have those qualities, we kind of push them aside. And it's really time for us to dismiss that because it came from somebody else and it's not the spiritual truth that you can now embody. What you can start to embody is balance. And this starts with self-acceptance. It came from the outer, this habit of being in your head, but you may be subconsciously judging yourself if you're more, illogical and intuitive and feeling. That's not important, that's silly. So the first step is to really love and accept that part of you. Now here's the truth, to take this even deeper, that feeling intuitive feminine energy is really where the true power lies. That is your strength. It is your superpower. It is your wisdom. There's a part of you that knows what you're here to do this lifetime. There's a part of you that knows how you can reach your goals and manifest those dreams that you have in your heart. And that is not the logical side. That is the feeling side. So I want you to really see the value in that part of yourself and have the courage to start to bring it to the forefront. To have it be first and the intellectual, the thought part, be second. It's not better or worse. There's just an order and a flow to this that is more in balance for you as a soul, right? You are more than just that brain that's trying to figure everything out. You have a power, you are energy, you are a soul. And if you've forgotten that, I'm here to remind you of that today. So what happens when you're in balance and when you're in flow is that the order of your energy will be feel, think, act. Feel, think, act. Feel, think, act. The feel is that intuitive part of you, the hunch, the idea, the inspiration, the excitement, the joy, the experiences, the wisdom, the growth. The think is the organizing intellectual part of you. It can figure it out, it can make a plan, it can see the step by step, it can execute, it can come up with, it can do research. All of that is great. But can you see how if you only did that and you put that part before any intuition, you're going to be it's very, it just becomes very empty almost. There's not the excitement and joy to it. You start to feel like you're just going through the motions and trying to push and strive for something when you really don't know why. If you're kind of doing something and you don't know why, that's a clue that you need to put that feeling part of you to the forefront again. And that's your desires. Only do something if you truly desire it. Only do something if it brings you joy, right? Or service. Or fulfillment. But that's the intellectual part, the thinking part is there to organize us. And it can come up with some amazing plans, and that's great. But again, it's going to be empty without the feeling. We need the balance. So once your intellectual part has created that plan and that structure that you need, then you act. You step into it. You start executing the plan. You get that joy from actually being involved and following through. So, there are two ways that I see people primarily get out of balance, especially if they have that tendency to be too intellectual. I'm raising my hand, right? This is me too. So one of those ways of getting out of balance is going, feel, think. I'm not ready to act. I might just procrastinate for a while. Okay? So this is my bad habit sometimes. It really happens because we're afraid to act. We're afraid of getting it wrong or making the wrong choice, afraid that it won't work out, afraid that I'm going to be so successful, I'll be overwhelmed and too busy and I won't see my family. Whatever it is, as fear is coming in to stop you from acting and just creating this loop of thinking. Okay? The second way I see people often get out of balance is going think, act. Because if you're doing that, you're operating from somebody else's version of your life. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your boss, maybe it's this version that you've decided for yourself but isn't really alignment with you as a soul, but it fits in with society's expectations. Because you're totally missing the joy, the fulfillment, right? Many of you are going to a job that you can't stand right now because it pays the bills. That's a logical way of looking at it. I can't quit this job because I need to pay my bills. But that is actually a false belief. It seems very true and it seems very real. But if you were actually to include your feeling intuitive part, you would say, I don't feel good going to this job. It's not fulfilling me. It's not in alignment with my purpose. I don't feel like I'm really helping people. I don't get the fulfillment myself. And so you would know that it wasn't right for you. And so if you were including the feeling part, you would say, what job brings me joy? What would really help people and allow me to have fun in the process? And then your intellectual part would organize you to find a job that did that. So that you can still pay the bills. We're not saying don't pay the bills, right? But you're doing it in alignment. Okay? So you've been missing out that process and just operating from this version of your life that somebody else told you to be true. And you're too afraid to get in touch with the feelings because that would mean that you need to make some changes in your life. And that can be scary, right? We fear change, so we stay think, act. Okay, so if you do want to make a change, maybe you're like trying to find a job, but you're doing it from your head. So you're like, okay, well, what else could I do that's a safe, secure income? And you're just doing that from your head and missing out the part that's just the more feminine energy, right? Joy, fulfillment, fun. You're just leaving that out of the equation. So if you're doing that, you're in the think, act. Neither of those are very healthy or helpful. All of them, if you keep doing it over time, are going to take a toll on your energy and on your physical body. You will start getting drained, fatigued, and sometimes even ill or injured if you keep putting that toll on yourself spiritually. You did not come here to suffer. You came here to be in balance. You came here to fulfill your purpose and to learn and grow. So this is why it's essential to come back to feel, think, act. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with a couple simple solutions, and I invite you to, join my community if you want to go deeper with this. So if you're in the think and not acting, what do you need to do? You need to pick a plan and do it, and stop creating new plans. Okay? If you're in the think, act, you need to take some time to go, hey, if I had no limitations, what would bring me joy? How do I feel? And many of you have lost touch with that part. So it's going to take a little time, journal every night, get in touch with how you actually feel, what's fun for you, what do you desire. You need to reawaken that energy within yourself. And of course, you can always ask your angels for support. They are here for you every step of the way. So I invite you to watch another video next to keep going deeper with this, and it's called How to Trust Your First Impression. So go ahead and click on the link right beside me here, and I'll see you over in that next video.